representative because, boy, I mean, in our politics, every single thing that impacts your life is about politics. It's from the people, for the people. There are group leaders here who are representing each of you. And each of you has to be a leader in your own right from your family, for your family. So there is indeed a cause, and let me say this, do not accept the stigmatization of others. Be the best you can be, and as the speakers have also spoke about, there are endless possibilities in you, and you will continue to be a gem, a feather in the cap of the Universal Service Fund. Clap yourself now, man. Just before our guest speaker comes to us, let me also acknowledge that the USF continues to blaze a trail of excellence. We did say when the program started that anybody who chooses to further their education in computer technology, they will be sponsored by the Universal Service Fund. Have you made up your mind in terms of further education, your business plan, and such the likes? Let us also acknowledge Shaquille Thompson. Shaquille, can you just stand? Shaquille, give him a round of applause. Shaquille is a sponsored student at the Northern Caribbean University, matriculating from this program, and he is now pursuing is it a bachelor's in computer technology? Give Shaquille another round, Shaquille Thompson, another round of applause. There was no limit to the sponsorships. And if all of you matriculated and is willing to pursue higher education, a commitment was given by the Universal Service Fund, and by extension, step into your possibilities.
That commitment will mean any top student who has matriculated to the universities in the field of ICT, we will sponsor you as with Akil 100%.
There you have it. What does it say? Give Daniel Dawes. I told you that he's an impact leader. And I can't help but saying this. When Mr. Dawes came to the Universal Service Fund, I saw in Barn Augusto, and I saw the energy in Mr. Dawes. To this day, he has not lost a beat. March to the rhythm of performance, and you will be happy with you. If you are slack in terms of what you are expected to do within the context of an absolute expectation, you're going to be in trouble. Make Angel tell you. Let me tell you, and let the team at the back tell you. Perform. No, man, Daniel does. Hold on, him is also a reverend to hear Daniel. Well, when the program finishes, you'll hear. Daniel Dawes, a man of his time, and a man that is ensuring that you walk into your destiny. You're a part of the USF team. You're an ambassador of the USF. Walk into your destiny. Be empowered that you can achieve yet more if you set your sights on it. Give yourselves a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, let me decrease. And welcome to the podium as your guest speaker for today, the MP of Manchester Northwestern from 2016 to present, and as chairman of the People's National Party Region 5. He currently serves as Shadow Minister of Housing, Transportation and Works. Talk to him about your house. Talk to him. He's a businessman, yes, him have money, and CEO of island-size outdoor advertising. When you set up your business, go to him for the advertisement. He will help you, and he'll also assist you when it comes to your family life. He's married and has 2 daughters. Give the man from Manchester Northwestern a round of applause as he comes to empower you further.
Boy, before all of us leave here, I can tell you what money I might have not add up to what them 2 money have. So you got to them first. Yeah? So, but I too feel a little bit, like I've been hoodwinked. Because I was called and said, boy, bring greetings. And when I reach here, I hear I'm guest speaker. So, Mr. Dawes operate now. Bring in the room and then try pull the best out of you. But them says 2 persons you shouldn't have a guest speaker. A pastor or a politician. So if you're not hungry, you're not hold that for now because I don't start talk yet. Right? But since Pastor Lloyd didn't go long, I'm going to take a leaf out of his book and not talk long. Yeah, not true. Yeah, Dad? All right, go ahead, Dad, man. But I want to start out by acknowledging the first citizen essay. And I sat down there working in my head because whenever you're at a function and the mayor is there, they introduce him as a first citizen too. Right? And when the custos is there, so I want to know who is first and second in this instance. Yeah? But I want to recognize our custos rotularium, Mr. William Shaguri, who, is a model for most custoses. No, man. He is a model for most custoses. And as he claimed me, I have to claim him. He's my very good friend. Yeah? My very good friend. To our members of parliament, I was just going to say comrade, but member of parliament, Luther and cousin, and member of parliament, Sibley's, to our lone councillor left here with us as the mayor had to leave, Councillor Williams, and to our main partners, the CMU and Heart Trust. And I sat down here and I said, boy, just like man to woman, woman to man. So is the Universal Access Service Fund, 2 partners, and you, the students, in making this possible. But I also want to recognize Mr. Daniel Dawes. Because, as members of parliament, and we are now in the period of constituency debates. And a common cry from all the MPs so far is that government is not working for the people. In the sense that agencies make it more difficult for persons to access their services. And since Mr. Dawes has taken on the helm at the USF, as MPs, and I'm sure the other 2 MPs can attest to this, we don't get calls from the other team members. Mr. Dawes himself will call you as a member of parliament to discuss the programs or if there are any issues. And he is one of the few, and I'm not saying it because he's here, he is very accessible. That is not a norm within government agencies. You have to go through 10 other people, even as MP, before you reach to the CEO. So I want to commend you, Mr. Dawes. Really want to. What them always say, behind every good man there is always a good woman. Eh? And behind every successful CEO, there must be a great team. So I want to also recognize the team of the USF. I had the pleasure of going to the office earlier this week. And I said, boy, if I work with government right now, that's what I want to work. Because I saw some ladies come out before Mr. Dawes came out. And there were two men, and I was saying to myself, why can't I go back in and let the ladies them take the photos with me? But I want to just recognize the team of the USF. You're doing a good job. And we always quarrel and say you can do more. But to what you're doing now, in the middle of a pandemic, in creating these hotspots, without failure, as some would have dropped the program, you have continued, and you are a byproduct of this partnership that you're seeing here, even with us as members of parliament. Because at the beginning of the program, each member of parliament gets to recommend 10 individuals. So some of you might have heard of the program, applied, but many of you would have been here because of your political representative. But when I hear of the number of students that actually completed the program, if you were to get 10 from each member of parliament, that would be 640. Plus those who would have come in, you probably end up with about 1,000. Yeah? And many a times, so does you hear that member of parliaments not do nothing. But sometimes it's the failure of those young people that really don't want more. Yeah? A few years ago, I have one high school in Northwest Manchester. And I'm going to big up the students from Manchester. And big up my friend Peter Powell from Manchester. But I'm not start talking about him yet, you know. That's why I leave him to last. Yeah? But I went to a graduation. I have one high school, Mile Gully High School. And I went to the graduation, 63 students. And just like you, Mr. Dawes, I said to them, when I look on them and I see the eyelash, I see the hairpiece them, and when the music I play, everybody get up and rock on the latest dancehall move. I said, backside. I said, how much I want to decide to go continue education? And I'm not lying to you. Less than 10 persons put up their hand. So I say, I don't know what I'm going to pay for, but I'm going to challenge every single one of you. Remember, 63 students. And I say, if every one of you inside here decide to continue your education, I pay 100% towards that education. So if you're going to university for 4 years, I'm paying 100% every year. Eh? 23, not start clap yet. 23 students took it up out of 63. By the time we're going into the second year, I called my secretary and I said to her, I say, boy, because we can't pay everything one time, so we are paid over per semester. How it go? How much money me owe? So normally the bill would be like $4.8 million. She said, 2 million. I said, huh? I said, how much students? She said, Mr. Phillips, believe me, we only have 5 students that's left in the program. 5. We used to run a program with Knox where I pay 98% of the tuition for the students. All of them have to find is $6,400. Me I pay the rest. Every year 150 students sign up. But by the time school starts, it's only 14. I run it for 3 years, I'm going to say, done. And I'm only raising this point because opportunities will come. But it just depends on what you do with that opportunity. MP Sibley say the certificate don't mean anything. And he's correct. And that's why I have to, young Shaquille is a shining example amongst all of you. Because he not only matriculate from this program, but he's using the opportunity of free 100% financing of your education to take up that opportunity to matriculate to CMU. That if and when he's done, and all of you going for the same job, who you think are going to get it? Shaquille. Because when I went to high school, and I won't tell you what year I graduated from high school, a lot of you were not even thought of by your parents when I left high school. But when I graduated from high school, 5 subjects could I get you a managerial job in a bank. It could have. But no, because of how we are now in Jamaica, you only had CAS and UWI. But now you have at least 17 universities here in Jamaica that more persons have access to. So when you're talking about going for a job, you have persons who are leaving with degrees when you only have the certificate. And we're not beating down the certificate because you have achieved. But one of the things, and I like to always talk about my own story, because every one of us here, including myself, come from humble beginnings. Huh? Yes? Yeah. I never went to prep school. I went to a primary school, Hope Valley Experimental. I was born in Hermitage in Augustown. My mother come from Standpipe, right there in Ligani. Father come from Manchester. And I use my story, Mr. Dawes, because growing up, I never saw my parents have anything at all. My father's, we don't know who my father is, Peter Phillips. People see me and say, boy, yeah, man, them grew up privileged. Never did. Because when my father turned Rasta, his parents them did push him one side. I am the product of a Rasta woman and a Rasta man. And I see my mother come from Standpipe in owning the first vegetarian restaurant in Jamaica. So before tasty and juicy beef, I make akipati and them things, and my mother export it. But I speak of my own experience because I went to Jamaica College. And when I went to JC, bad man business I run. So the whole away. I never bad man. My first day at JC, then hold me up and take my lunch money and say, run boy. I'm a run. But I tell a lie. But when I went to JC, I wasn't a footballer, I wasn't a cricketer. I used to swim. But from my first time on the swim team, I captained it from first form to fifth form. But yes, girls is your attention. So when I did CXC in fourth form, maths and English, them used to encourage you to do maths and English. Me fail the both of them. Go fifth form. Who can tell me how much subject me pass? Me get $1,000. One. No, come for the $1,000, baby. No. Me make sure I get her in front of because I don't want to say the politician promise her not get. But I pass one. Right? Who can tell me which subject? Me get 1,000. When I tell you I pass math, I fail maths and English in a fourth form, I come pass to a fifth form. No, you're out hard about PE. I pass art, I don't know get it. Me keep me $1,000. I pass art. And most people think that I should be ashamed to even say it. But then I repeated fifth form. And I pass one more. Yeah, but 1 and 1 plus 2, if you don't want things said no, a 0. Like a phone problem. And my father said to me, last chance, because I'm his eldest. He send me go to Exed Community College. But by that time now I'm working, I'm going to school at the same time. I'm going to get 3 more. So 3 plus 2? All right. No, 5. Don't allow me. Right? But what for me at that point in time, I said to myself, say, boy, I don't know me and school are going to make it out. My father, him brighter than me and them 2 men are put together. Eh? Went to university at age 16, graduated from JC, 6th form, went to university, probably never paid a $1 in school fee because it was always on a scholarship. Just know it missed me as in first youth, forget that the brain there. But what it taught me, seeing how my mother and my father operated, is that failure was never an option. It was never an option. So I started working with my mother, helping her in her business. My father had a coffee farm. He said to me, the only way I can get a vehicle for drivers unless I work on the farm. So me just say, yeah. And I worked the farm up in the Blue Mountains. I had to go there every day, then come back to school. After school, go back out to St. Thomas, go pick up supplies like seedlings and come out to Clarendon for a chicken farm to go buy chicken manure. Then my mother came to the restaurant one day and she said she have an opportunity to set up a restaurant at a popular gym in Kingston. And I said to her, I said, let me take it on. I remember going to my father and saying to him, and I don't want to look down on my father now when he see me in the parliament. But I went to him, and this was 1991. And I said to him, boy, I beg you $3,000 for putting in this business. I used to, when I asked him, he said, how much IT you have? I said, none. He said, then how you go in a business and you don't have nothing? I thought of him as a wicked man then. But when I grew up, now I understand now that I have children. I understand what he was saying. Them days, it takes you 7 to 10 days before a check, when you write a check. Not true, Mr. Simmons? Before it reach your account. I mean, have an account at Citizen Bank. I'm going to write a check for buy material for set up the building, refurbish it, and make sure it's the money, because them days when you bounce a check, it's an embarrassment. Yeah? And I'm not care if money in a bank, you just write it. I might get cash first, and if you come and say you are back. Yeah? But then I got it going. 2 years after that, a friend of mine working with an outdoor advertising company come to me and said, boy, he want to go on him own. How me feel if me think me would take the risk with him? I'm going to say, yeah. So me close down the restaurant, go into the business with him. When my father sold the farm, he gave me $3 million. That $3 million in 93, a whole heap of money. I take 1.5 and buy me 10% in the company. I never want nobody give me the shares free. I'm using the other 1.5 and buy me pay down for my first apartment. Okay? So the only thing my father ever give me, because $3,000 is where I come to, $3 million. Because of my determination that he saw that I was trying. Me and that partner run the business for 10 years. Till me feel me turn big man, now him feel him turn big man, the relationship start mash. But that 1.5 million, 10 years after, gave me $25 million then. When I sold my shares. I may use that and start my own. So me want a boss. But again, because I didn't take the opportunity after the 5 subjects to go to university, to have at least something that I can back up on, I said to myself, failure is never an option. Never an option. Because by that time now, I'm 30 years old, decide to get married and have children. Then I have nothing else to back up on for a 9 to 5 job. To provide no for my family. So even more significant, failure was never that option. But what it also taught me is that when opportunities come, we usually put up this wall and say, boy, I'm not going to take this risk or take that risk. Failure is also an option for you to learn. Because failing don't mean that it is the end of time or the end of that opportunity. But it is how you learn from it, how it is that you repackage it and make it a success. I was telling a friend of mine just last month, worked with one company for 30 years. He's now, they might put him on the retirement line. He's my age. But it's a foreign-owned company. They decide they want to bring a foreigner for him job. So they have to send him home. So he might get a nice payday. And I'm trying to figure out what it is that he's going to do. But he might try to come with something new. And I keep saying to him, you know, many of those who have made it in business, it's not that they come with a new idea, you know. It's how they package that same idea to make it attractive for you, the consumer, to want to make them make money. So Mr. Amazon never come with something new. What I'm doing is just expand on what other people used to do and make it into a successful business. And he's now one of the richest men in the world. How many people you see doing bottled water? Let me tell you, say, pure water, when a pipe water, them just put filter upon it. But some people make it a better water than others. Look on water compared to Catherine Speak. One is filtered water, one is spring water. But it's how you market it. That a man not even think about that is mineral water compared to pipe water. It's just how you market it. So now that you have reached to this point in your own life, it is how you market yourself for that next step that you're going. But if it's one thing I'm going to ask you, I might sound like me I chat too much. Don't let this be the end of your journey. Don't. I was going to make a little joke on my friend, our dear Custos, but I have to remember that we're in a formal setting. You see, when I find that young people like bling, just remember, employers don't. Do you bling when you're there on your weekend? You sat there on Sunday. A lot of you love for eat the food, you start take picture before you left out of the bathroom. You take picture half dress. It can come back to bite you. Because persons who are now employing like to look on your social media to see if you are the type of person since their company, their brand, But also, remember the last name where you have. I get you, Getty. So you're not representing yourself, but you're also representing your family. So when you're going out there for employment, believe me, look at Costas. He's probably more money than him and them put together. But it is not how you show it, you know. Because when people are supposed to see you, then we see you for who you are. Any man who me know have money. Drive a pickup, not a Benz. Eh? You see how Peter sit down and say, have more money put up. But look how Peter dress. Eh? It is just that you believe in yourself that will make people want to gravitate to you and make people want to employ you. It is not what you show on the outside. Believe me on that. As an employer, if me see a man come, I'm have him chain out a door and him have a shiny shoes. Me I say then if me I go pay him X and him want a wife to live, then him I go thief me if he reach a wife because me only a pay him X. Because him want bling every day. But never allow where you come from to ever hold you back. Too often we use our situation as an albatross around our neck. Boy, you know I come from Hayes, and boy, I come from Maypen, and good things come from these communities too. But if you represent yourself as that is bad about the community, persons are going to want to stay away from you. If you show that you can be different from those bad eggs, people will want to help you to rise. Never allow your situation to ever hold you back. I am sure that many of you inside here, your parents never know how them did ever send you to school. All when you go to school, you couldn't go to school 5 days a week. Because your brother and sister, them have to go even one. Sometimes when you go, you have to iron up and walk it back because mama or papa never have the money for the bus fare. You owe it to them too, for the sacrifice that they have made to bring you to where you are. Because when they're gone, you would have said, boy, if I did, I could have, should have. Do it for them, but also do it for yourself. Believe in yourself. Because if you're not believing in yourself, this is the end of the road for you. So, as I end, and one of the speakers, well, Mr. Dawes spoke about it. I am a firm believer. You can't employ everybody in Jamaica. India exports persons for work. Jamaica can get to that point now in exporting persons for work. So I was in the USA a couple of weeks ago, and as Costas Shaguri said, every single shop that you go to says help wanted. But I was watching Bloomberg the other day. You have 1.5 million Americans who left the employment line a month ago. And to be able, who employers are looking work for. But as was said before, if you not get vaccinated, even if them want 5 million, you not have the work. I am vaccinated. My wife vaccinated. My 16-year-old daughter vaccinated. My 18-year-old daughter vaccinated. And my wife's still happy because I'm still working. So all to the man them who feel say, nothing nah go walk. She's still a happy lady. So don't worry about that. You understand? But I said this to you, and seriously, we might have this notion about the vaccination. Even though they say that is 1/2 of the population that has gotten a jab, it is only 20%, only 300,000+ Jamaicans that have been fully vaccinated. The only way that we are going to recover as a country is unless we get up to 60%. Even though companies are fighting this vaccination mandate, and I don't believe in it, but it is going to be the norm worldwide. I was looking for a job for a young lady yesterday, and I contacted a person in that company and said, boy, this young lady sent in a resume. Please see what you can do. Him say, you know, sir, I really my secretary them I try to replace. Someone say, yeah. First thing him ask, is she vaccinated? My officer, I soon get back to you. I call her. I say, are you vaccinated? She say, yeah. Him said, them changing his secretary, moving her out of the executive office because she's not vaccinated. But them don't have no other position, so she have to take a step down. It is the reality. And not only the reality for employment, but to save your own life. If you have 1 billion persons around the world that has gotten vaccinated, you may have 200,000 that may have some comorbidity and have died after taking the vaccination. But if you have 500 million who has died, there's 5 million alone in the USA that has died. Every single one of them, or 99%, have died because they have not taken the vaccination. Simple mathematics. Which side of history you want to be on? Because the only person me know start from top to bottom is the undertaker. Everybody else start from bottom and rise to the top. Am I right or wrong, Pastor? As is me and no undertaker, but make sure I take my job. So I'm imploring you, believe me. If your mind is against it, think about it. It's better to get sick and not die than to get sick and die. Because I'm sure me and you not talk again because me now want to hear your story. How it go. Because wherever you go, top or bottom, you turn right yourself now. Me not ready yet. You get mad? But I want to also talk about determination and not allowing yourself to hold yourself back. And I say I was going to talk about my friend Peter Powell. So them introduced Joel as Mike's right-hand man, Peter a hardly left hand, right hand, big toe, little toe. Everything. Now we are on the opposite side of the political divide. But one day, truckers had a little strike in Mile Gully, backside. Me always hear about Peter Powell when me come to Manchester to run politics. Never know him. But as MP for the area where the mining was going on, me turn up on the site. But then they believe some me did not defend the backside company. But me turn out to defend the truckers them. And the whole way block the gate. Eh? I didn't know who he was at the time. But when me see, after the strike done, me see him jump in a truck. And with him, challenges. Start at the truck there and start. I said, backside, what you complain about in our life? You never see him operate a backhoe yet? Or drive a truck? We sure you bring down the student them too? No, I never do it. Road too bad. Yeah. But believe me, not because he's here, I always speak of him. Always. Because he had allowed his challenges in life to ever hold him back. So you who have more than him, should you allow your challenges to hold you back? Because as Pastor in his sermon spoke of trust in the Lord, you need to have trust in yourself that you have the ability to achieve. As I said before, don't let this be the last step that you have taken. Mr. Dawes has given you, has opened up an opportunity to you. Utilize it. I never thought, after finishing high school and running business, that I would be a third-term member of parliament. Never, ever thought that I would be. I never thought that I would know Costas Billy Shagore, but he's my friend. That I would have met you here today. But as life would have had it, we're still here to each other. A journey, and God never tell us a easy life to live. Never did. But first, believe in God. Second, yourself. And the third, ask Him to guide your footsteps. And never but you. Okay? Because you may go down on your knees, but pick yourself up and continue. I want to congratulate you, students. Congratulate those of you who have completed the program. Be yourself, man. Clap yourself, man. Clap. You should feel good. Right? What you is take on that challenge Mr. Dawes gave you. Look at the next step. Come always tell students when they come in, boss, you can't help me more heart or seal. I say, you apply. When you apply, you come to me. And when you come to me, I will find a way to help. When you don't come to me, there's nothing I can do for help you. So there's no you will and then title Universal Service Fund come on, that education of yours. May God continue to bless you, guide you, keep you. Remember, always shine because you are the champions. God bless you all.
Give our guest speaker a round of applause. Now, another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Let me say this. I sat there as the master, and I looked at the podium and I said to myself, it's only one person who brought so much. He's only Mr. Danny Dawes. The big ed table to you. The political divide has been unified in this space. And let us understand that the unity of purpose is going to take us where we need to go. Michael Phillips and the objectives, and you think that he would not want to speak about it. Reality, it is our day. Yes, the batch is going. I want to the time for the certification or certificates be handed to you is now, and I just want to this little bit of it. Any of us will go to an interview and you will say to the person, sir, I forgot my certificates. I'm going to bring them tomorrow. What is wrong with that? My certificates, bring them tomorrow. The word certificate, certified, And so with that in mind, we'll be inviting Ms. Dawes to come back to the podium and we move into the segment. Yes, Ms. Carly Davis, the marketing and PR manager, come back to the podium as we come to the podium. Just me a little and get sorted out. Has sent this congratulatory message to you all, and he's apologizing for the Honorable Auditor is apologizing for his absence, and he wants to send his message of congratulations to the team from Northeast Manchester, and ill represented by Peter here today. Give them a round of applause. All right. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to ask Mr. Sibley's to step in. We're going to ask him to hand out the first set of certificates. All right. Give Mr. Sibley's a round of applause.
We'll start by calling Clark, sorry. Make some noise again. Make some noise and don't stop clapping. Celebrate. Take time, Gayan. Keep the going as we want. Katrina Diop. Katrina Diop. Make some noise, Katrina. Katrina, look out the booyard. Katrina already. So make some noise, Katrina. Make welcome. Camel Forbes. Kenny Bartley, make some noise.
As your name is called and you go to the back and collect your certificate, please. Go to the back and collect your certificate.
Keep the applause for Miss Bartlett.
Mr. Sibley's. And we're going to be asking money for Shrouder to just head to the center. Thank you very much.
Make some noise, Trishua. Keep the applause going. Keep it going for colleague. We're celebrating today. Natalie Green. Make some noise for Natalie. Is Romaine in the house? Romaine Hills. Make some noise for Romaine. Mr. Henderson, Wayne Henderson. Make some noise for AP going. Wayne Henderson, some noise. Kamisha Harold. Make some noise for Kamisha with colorful ponytail.
Yeah, let's thank Miss Shrouder and give a round of applause. And we're going to invite Ibrahim Aduna of Gotney.
Jamila Johnson. Make some noise for Jamila. Trishana Lewis. Make some noise for Trishana. Is Jarvis here today? Make some noise, Jarvis McKenzie. Hey Jenny, make your way to McLean. Melody McLeod. I see Clarendon and Manchester out with colors.
Yes. I him, Janina. I could not say day. Please give them applause. Awesome day.
Kemar Needham. May noise to Kemar. Brian Powell, make noise, Brian. Megan Newman, make some noise. Yes, Miss Man, make your way. We have a Shanette Simmons and a Sharnette Simmons. Make your way, Shanette and Sharnette. To both. Make your way, Shanette and Sharnette Simmons. Your sisters? Cousins. Okay. Make some noise for the Simmons cousin. And Nayarko Tyrrell. Mr. Tyrrell.
Yes, Peter, another round of applause. Thank you, Peter, after this. Then, next we're going to ask